Abundant wildlife, a strong economy and vibrant modern cities like Gaborone make Botswana one of the special countries to visit in Africa. For the past decade, Botswana has played host to the Toyota 1000 Desert Race, the premier event on the MSA Off-Road Championship calendar. This year, over 300 car, motorcycle and quad entries converged on the Botswana capital and prepared to do battle with the extreme conditions this event has to offer. Crews went through the ritual of documentation and scrutineering before getting ready to tackle the 37-kilometer time trial that would determine the starting positions for the 500-kilometer race section the following day.
African bush in the Gaborone area of Botswana for the Toyota Desert 1000 off-road race. Mike Brain unloads his quad after Friday's qualifying. Elmer Simons, the man on pole position for today's race, unloads his bike. Got to get some of that dust out of those crash helmets. The South African Off-Road Championship is shaping up this year, and a man to look out for is number 750, Jay Goodsight. Alfie Cox, always a top contender, as is Clayton Enslin. Elmer Simons, watch out for him in the desert. The riders study the route map to find out where they are going. But it's time to go down to the starting line for the 1000 Desert Race 2001. And Andrew Mulligan, our intrepid cameraman, is up there in the gas gyrocopter to get some aerial shots. The quads start off first, and Johan Steenkamp, the Roof of Africa winner, starts off on the Bombardier quad. Right behind him, it is Jeff Bush and Christo Vandermerwe just behind him. Number L90, that's Calvin Collington on a Yamaha. And another of the Bombardier quads gets away. And some aerial shots as our leading quads head out into the desert. A huge crowd is gathered for this spectacle where they cross the public roads. And that is Carlos Debrew on a Yamaha Raptor. Also Yamaha mounted his early leader Brandon Bardenos, flying through the African bush. Right behind him though, there's a whole bunch of Bombardiers trying to make a meal of this race. And that looks like Johan Steenkamp coming down towards the river crossing. Of course, these machines are fully waterproof, so no problems for the quads flying through here. But caution, always the wiser option, and Steenkamp has been around, and he won the Roof of Africa last year, so he knows how to play this game. Behind him, Jeff Bush on a Bombardier is also having a good run, currently lying in third place. Jeff slows down for that water trap, looks for the shallowest route through that section. First gear, second gear, and third gear as they accelerate through the bush. Time for the bike start. That's Rian Fanikak on the gas, gets away. Behind him, Elmer Simons, and next up, Wayne Farmer. The good positions determined by Friday's qualifying. Alfie Cox, the Desert Fox, gets away on the big Kutum. And behind him, arch rival, arch enemy, Daryl Curtis, exciting as ever. And that's Jay Goodsight on bike number 750. The first of the 200s gets away, and that is Jeffrey Wallater on a KTM. Behind him, Grant Bloomfield on a Millimore Honda. Further down the field, Evan Pretorius waits for the start on bike number 747. Out front though, Clayton Enslin has got an early lead on the Yamaha. We know it's Clayton because he's the only one wearing white boots. Daryl Curtis also flying on the gas, and where is Alfie Cox? We're told he's 30 seconds behind the leader at present. 500 Ks to go. And there is Alfie on the big KTM, just seconds behind those leaders. So it's Enslin, Curtis and Cox as they come down towards the river crossings. Alfie stands up on the pegs as he goes through the deep water. It looks like Daryl Curtis is flying along, and he has got early starter Elmer Simons in his sights. Curtis chewing dust as they fly along in top gear. Elmer Simons banks it through the right-hander, and notice how they cut the corners to make it a straight line as possible. Curtis and Simons fight it out in the African bush. Simons stands up on those pegs, pulls a big old wheelie and then over a jump. Curtis, of course, is using him as a marker. Back down on the start line, David Thomas, the man from Cape Town, gets away. And that's number 402, Grant Bloomfield on the Millimore Honda. Comes flying over the public roads. And this is Stephen Smith riding in the Sportsman's Quad class. That's a little 200cc blaster. David Thomas comes through on the big gas. Where's a man for a wheelie? And then Gavin Pretorius on bike number 747, already amongst the quads. Bombardiers are lying second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Into the refuel point, it's Nick Gosler on a Kawasaki. Right behind him, Andrew Ogden, leading the 200cc class on KTM number 85. Ogden heads out of the refuel point. Backup, obviously, all important in this type of race. As number 254, Brandon Else heads off into the bush, followed by Brian Bontekoning on the 200 gas.
Not too bad.
Well, Wayne Smith, a man of few words, riding a 200cc gas this time around, the veteran motocross star. Timekeeping, all important. Wayne Farmer comes flying in on the 250 Kawasaki, sponsored by Russell Campbell Racing. And right behind him, Rian Finikak has lost some ground. Apparently, Rian has picked up a tummy bug and is not feeling well. Henrik Pakita comes through on the big Bombardier. Apparently, Hendrik's quad is completely standard for this event. One of the Yamaha Raptors comes flying along. Slow down for that public road and then off into the African bush. This was Christo Fanamova, currently lying in 7th spot on the Bombardier DS650. DS, by the way, stands for Desert Storm. Quite apt, don't you think? Brendan Crooks on the Millimore Honda. Ex-motocross star, loving life in the desert. Andrew Ogden, well up in the 200cc class on his KTM, bike number 85. And just behind him, Wayne Smith, making tracks. Right, we get back up into the air after refueling our gyrocopter. And the crowd are gathering. They've stopped the public from crossing that road. Darryl Curtis, he's in 2nd place on the gas, wide open as always. You notice how he sits down. He never seems to stand on the pegs, where the other riders, the opposite for them. And their backup crew flying along right behind him. Alfie Cox on the big KTM, wide open through the quarry section. Alfie standing up on those pegs, letting his legs do all of the work amongst the car competitors. Darryl Curtis has the same problem. Whoa, take a look at that. Just get cut off by an old Sandmaster. Curtis not happy with the situation. The Off-Road Racing Commission told me that this may change for next year. The bikes and the cars will not be mixing it. But out front, it's all Clayton Enslin on the 250cc Shimwell's Yamaha, bike number 250. Alfie, 26 seconds down on Enslin. Darryl Curtis has got past all of those cars and is chasing hard. He's currently in 2nd position. This is the overnight stop where they can service and work on the motorcycles. 500k is almost completed. The gas crew wait for those riders to come in. KTM, always a big team effort as well. And Russell Campbell Racing, heavily into the off-road racing scene. And the Shimwell's Yamaha team wait for the lead rider, Clayton Enslin. Let's catch up with Russell Campbell.
So what goes into organising this event from the manager's point of view?
There's quite a lot to organise. You've got to organise the accommodation, the petrol, the entries, all the licenses, the vehicles to come out, the crew to help the guys when they come in. You've got problems, you've got to have guys who know what they're doing, change engines, change wheels, whatever. There's a lot more to it than people actually see from the outside.
And that's Russell's rider, Wayne Farmer, on the 250cc Kawasaki, passing some of the slower quads, heading for the overnight stop. The leader after day one, Clayton Enslin, pulls in on bike number 250. Looking remarkably fresh. Oh, Darryl Curtis, as always, in a hurry. 2nd place for the overnight.
Yay! How did it go? Had a good day today. Battled last couple of cars, last 20k's, really battled to get past some of the cars. Very tight and overgrown. Hard day today.
Yes, a lot of rain lately in Botswana, so the bush is much thicker than in past years. Alfie Cox in 3rd place on the 4-stroke KTM. Alfie knows the race proper starts on day 2. He'll be happy with his overnight result. Onto the quads, and Brendan Bardenhorst, the overnight leader, arrives on the Yamaha Raptor, bike number L1. He's got a healthy lead over the Bombardier team. Rian van Niekerk arrives on the 250 gas. Not feeling too well is Rian with that tummy bug. And Jacques Kluvig arrives on the Bombardier. Wayne Farmer, Kawasaki 250. Jay Goodside arrives on bike number 750. I'll make him 4th overall. And leading the 200cc class, Jeffrey Wallater. And this is Cornell de Villiers, one of the pre-race favorites, 4th in the quad class. Andrew Ogden arrives, but let's catch up with Daryl Curtis.
It was very demanding, hard on the body today. And we battled a lot with the cars as well today. You know, a lot of the cars see you and they move over, but the majority of the Sandmasters and things, their mirrors, they either don't have mirrors or the mirrors have been broken off. And we really made it very, very dangerous today to get past the cars.
Looking forward to tomorrow?
Tomorrow's going to be good. I think we're starting first in front of the quads and the cars. So I think I'm going to enjoy it. It's going to be tomorrow the race is on, for sure.
Much better for those bikes to start off at the front of the field on day 2. 500 k's to go through the African bush as one of the Millimore Hondas gets away.